Vera, what are you doing here? Precious jumped up from the poolside lounge chair, her face drained of all color. Anderson froze mid-kiss, his hands still wrapped around Precious's waist. The champagne glass slipped from his fingers and shattered on the concrete. Vera stood there, her engagement ring catching the afternoon sun, tears streaming down her face. Her whole body trembled as she stared at the two people she loved most in the world, tangled together like lovers, destroying everything she believed in. How could you? Vera's voice cracked. Both of you. How could you do this to me? Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tales by Teemee, where we share stories that touch the heart and teach us life's most important lessons. If this is your first time here, welcome to our family. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we continue with Vera's heartbreaking story, please take a moment to comment below and let us know where you're watching from. We love hearing from our viewers around the world. Now, let's go back to where this painful journey began. Vera and Precious grew up as sisters, not just friends. Their mothers were best friends who lived 3 houses apart on Magnolia Street, a quiet neighborhood where everyone knew everyone. From the time they could walk, Vera and Precious were inseparable. They shared dolls, secrets, dreams, and prayers. Vera was the sunshine child, the one people naturally gravitated toward. She had warm brown eyes that sparkled when she smiled, and a generous heart that couldn't say no to anyone in need. Teachers loved her, neighbors adored her, even strangers felt comfortable around her gentle spirit. Precious was different. She was pretty too, with sharp features and clever eyes. But something always seemed to simmer beneath her surface. While Vera made friends easily, Precious struggled. While opportunities seemed to fall into Vera's lap, Precious had to fight for everything. And slowly, over the years, that difference planted a seed of bitterness in Precious's heart. But Vera never noticed. To her, Precious was her sister, her confidant, her forever friend. They went to the same schools, attended the same church, and even enrolled in the same university. Their mothers would sit on Vera's front porch, sipping sweet tea and talking about how blessed they were that their daughters had each other. In this wicked world, Vera's mother would say, having a true friend is like having a treasure. You girls hold on to each other. If only she had known. The graduation party was held at the university's grand hall, decorated with silver and gold balloons. Vera wore a simple blue dress that somehow made her glow even brighter than usual. Precious wore red, a bold, attention-grabbing red that she hoped would make her stand out for once. That's when Anderson walked in. He was tall, well-dressed, with the kind of confidence that comes from success. At 32, Anderson had built a thriving real estate business and was known in the city as a young man going places. He wasn't just handsome, he had substance, kindness in his eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. He noticed Vera immediately. "Excuse me," he said, approaching her with a genuine smile. "I'm Anderson. I'm friends with one of the professors here. Are you celebrating today?" Vera's heart skipped. "Yes, I just graduated. I'm Vera." They talked for 2 hours straight. About dreams, about faith, about family values. Anderson told her about his late mother and how she raised him to respect women and honor God. Vera shared her hopes of becoming a teacher and making a difference in children's lives. Precious watched from across the room, her champagne glass gripped so tight her knuckles turned white. Why her? Why always her? When Vera finally introduced Anderson to Precious, he was polite and kind. "Any friend of Vera's is a friend of mine," he said warmly. Precious smiled. But inside, something dark took root. Anderson and Vera's relationship blossomed beautifully. He was a gentleman, picking her up for dates, meeting her family, taking things slow and respectful. Vera's parents loved him. Everyone could see he was serious about their daughter. Everyone except Precious. "Vera, I need to talk to you about Anderson." Precious said one afternoon as they sat in Vera's living room. I've been hearing things. What things? Vera asked, concerned. People are saying his money isn't clean, that he's involved in some shady business deals. Girl, I'm worried about you. What if the police come after him one day? What if you get caught up in his mess? Vera frowned. Precious, Anderson is one of the most honest men I've ever met. He goes to church. He volunteers. His business is registered and legitimate. Where are you hearing these rumors? I'm just trying to protect you, Precious said, her voice dripping with false concern. I love you, sis. I don't want to see you hurt. But Vera trusted Anderson. She had met his business partners, seen his contracts, witnessed his integrity firsthand. She knew in her heart that Precious was wrong. What Vera didn't know was that Precious wasn't wrong. She was lying, making up stories, planting seeds of doubt. Because if she couldn't have happiness, why should Vera? During one of their group hangouts at a local cafe, Precious made her move. While Vera was in the restroom, Precious leaned over to Anderson. Hey, can I get your number? She asked casually. You know, just in case there's ever an emergency with Vera and I need to reach you quickly. It seemed innocent enough. Anderson handed over his business card without thinking twice. That was Precious's opening. The messages started small. A text here and there asking how Vera was doing. Then they became more frequent, more personal. Hey, Anderson, just wanted to say you're really good to Vera. She's lucky. Anderson, can I ask you something? Has Vera mentioned anything about her ex? I'm worried she's not completely over him. I hate to say this, but I saw Vera having lunch with another guy today. Should I be concerned? Lies. All lies. But consistent, calculated lies that slowly began to work their way into Anderson's mind. Precious knew exactly what she was doing. She had studied manipulation like a science. She knew that repetition creates belief, and doubt creates distance. Meanwhile, Vera was planning their future, completely unaware that her best friend was dismantling her relationship brick by brick. While Vera's relationship flourished, Precious's love life was a disaster. In 1 year, she had been in 6 different relationships. Each one ended in chaos, cheating, fighting, drama, heartbreak. Marcus lasted 2 months before he called her controlling and possessive. David left after 3 weeks, saying she was too much. Timothy caught her going through his phone and walked out. Every relationship crashed and burned, and every failure made Precious more bitter. She would cry to Vera about how unfair life was, how no man appreciated her, how she deserved better, and Vera, sweet, loyal Vera, would comfort her, would pray with her, would encourage her to keep trying. Your person is out there, Vera would say, holding Precious's hand. God has someone special for you too, but Precious didn't want someone special. She wanted what Vera had. She wanted Anderson. When Anderson proposed to Vera at her favorite restaurant, with both their families present, it was a moment of pure joy. Vera said yes through happy tears, and everyone celebrated. Everyone except Precious. She was there, of course, sitting at the table, clapping, smiling, hugging Vera, but inside, she was screaming. Inside, she was plotting. The engagement party came next, a beautiful celebration at Vera's parents' home. Precious helped decorate. She gave a toast about friendship and love. She even cut the bouquet when Vera tossed it playfully. But that night, alone in her apartment, Precious stared at her reflection and made a decision. If she couldn't have Anderson, Vera wouldn't either. Precious became a constant presence in Vera and Anderson's life. She'd drop by their apartment for weekend visits. She'd invite herself to their date nights. She'd call Anderson with urgent questions when she knew Vera wasn't around. Anderson, I really need to talk to you about something important, she texted one evening. But please don't tell Vera. I don't want her to worry. Can we meet for coffee? Anderson, trusting and kind, saw no harm in helping his fiancé's best friend. They met at a quiet cafe, where Precious spun more tales about Vera's supposed secrets, her alleged past, her real intentions. The poison was working. Anderson started questioning things, started pulling away slightly. Vera noticed. Baby, is everything okay? You seem distant lately. I'm fine, Anderson would say. But he wasn't fine. He was confused, conflicted, and drowning in Precious's carefully constructed lies. Then came the opportunity Precious had been waiting for. Vera's mother fell ill. Nothing life-threatening, but enough that Vera needed to travel 3 hours away to care for her for a few days. I'll be back soon, Vera told Anderson, kissing him goodbye. Take care of yourself, okay? I'll be fine, he said. You take care of your mom. I love you. I love you too. Those words would haunt both of them. The text came an hour after Vera left. Hey Anderson, I'm feeling really low tonight. All my relationships have failed, and seeing you and Vera so happy, it's hard. Can we talk? Maybe grab a drink. I really need a friend right now. Anderson hesitated, but compassion won over caution. Precious was Vera's best friend. She was hurting. What harm could one drink do? They met at an upscale club downtown. Precious wore a tight black dress and perfume that filled the air between them. She ordered drinks, strong drinks, and kept them coming. To friendship, she said, raising her glass. To friendship, Anderson echoed, already feeling the alcohol. 1 drink became 3. 3 became 6. The room started spinning. Precious's face became blurry. Her voice became hypnotic. You're such a good man, Anderson, she whispered, moving closer. So much better than Vera deserves. You should be with someone who truly appreciates you. Anderson's head swam. He tried to respond, tried to stand up, but his body wasn't cooperating. Everything felt wrong, but also strangely compelling. Let's get you somewhere to rest, Precious said, her voice sweet as honey and twice as deadly. She drove him to Riverside Hotel, a beautiful resort with private bungalows and a secluded pool. She'd booked the room days ago. She'd planned every detail. Anderson collapsed on the bed, consciousness fading in and out. Precious lay beside him, her plan finally coming together. What happened that night would shatter 3 lives forever. Anderson woke to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar curtains and an unfamiliar weight on his chest. He turned his head and saw Precious sleeping beside him, her arm draped across him. Horror flooded through his body like ice water. No! 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 He whispered, scrambling away from her. What? What happened? What did we do? Precious stared, a satisfied smile on her face. Good morning, baby, she purred, reaching for him. Anderson pushed her hand away. Don't touch me! What did you do? What did we do? We made love? Anderson, Precious said simply. We finally stopped pretending and admitted what we both feel. I don't feel anything for you, Anderson shouted, grabbing his clothes. I love Vera. I'm engaged to Vera. Oh God, what have I done? He dressed frantically and ran out, leaving Precious alone in the hotel room. But she wasn't upset. She was smiling. The seed was planted. The damage was done. When Vera returned home 2 days later, glowing from time with her mother and eager to see her fiancé, she found a different man. Anderson couldn't look her in the eye. He was distant, cold, guilty. The warmth between them had vanished. Anderson, what's wrong? Vera asked, her heart beginning to race. Did something happen while I was gone? Nothing happened. He lied, the words tasting like ash. I'm just tired. But he was more than tired. Anderson was drowning in guilt, confusion, and Precious's continued manipulation. She texted him constantly now. We need to talk about us. You can't pretend that night didn't mean something. Vera doesn't have to know. We can figure this out. Anderson felt trapped between the woman he loved and the terrible mistake he'd made. Instead of confessing, instead of seeking help, he did what guilty people often do. He attacked. Have you been cheating on me? He accused Vera one evening out of nowhere. Vera's jaw dropped. What? Anderson? How could you even ask me that? Precious told me things about men you've been seeing, about your past. Precious said. What? Vera couldn't believe what she was hearing. Anderson, I have never cheated on you. I've never even thought about another man. How can you believe her over me? I don't know what to believe anymore, Anderson said and walked out the door. He went straight to Riverside Hotel, where Precious was waiting. Sarah Mitchell had been working at Riverside Hotel for 3 years. She knew Vera from university. They'd been in the same study group, shared notes, even went to each other's graduation parties. So when she saw Anderson and Precious kissing by the pool that afternoon, her heart stopped. That's Vera's fiancé. That's Vera's best friend. What is happening? Sarah watched them for a moment, making sure her eyes weren't deceiving her. But no, it was definitely them. Anderson's arm around Precious's waist, Precious running her fingers through his hair, both of them looking very much like a couple. Sarah rushed to the staff bathroom and called Vera immediately. Vera, it's Sarah. Sarah Mitchell from university. I don't know how to tell you this, but you need to come to Riverside Hotel right now. It's about Anderson and Precious. Vera had been on her knees in prayer, begging God to fix whatever was broken in her relationship. When her phone rang, something in Sarah's voice made her blood run cold. What about them? Vera asked, her voice barely a whisper. Just come, please. I'm so sorry. Vera grabbed her purse and ran outside, her hands shaking so badly she could barely open the taxi door. The 15-minute drive felt like 15 hours. Please, God, let this be a misunderstanding. Please let Sarah be wrong. But God was silent, and the truth was waiting. Vera burst through the hotel entrance, past the lobby, straight to the pool area where Sarah had said they'd be. And there they were, her fiancé, her best friend, together. Vera, what are you doing here? The rest happened in slow motion. The accusations, the tears, the denials that quickly crumbled into excuses. It just happened, Anderson pleaded. I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. You stole him from me, Precious shouted, her true colors finally showing. Everything always goes to you. You don't deserve him. You don't deserve any of it. Vera stood there, her world crumbling, and finally saw Precious for who she truly was. Not a friend, not a sister, but a wolf in sheep's clothing, who had been waiting 20 years for the perfect moment to strike. I prayed for you, Vera said quietly, tears streaming down her face. Every time a man hurt you, I prayed. Every time you cried, I held you. I called you my sister. And this is how you repay me? She pulled the engagement ring off her finger and threw it at Anderson's feet. You deserve each other, she said. Both of you are exactly what you deserve. And Vera walked away, leaving behind the two people who had destroyed her hearts. Anderson and Precious tried to build something from the ashes of their betrayal. But a relationship born in deception cannot stand in truth. Anderson couldn't look at Precious without remembering what they'd destroyed. Precious couldn't handle the guilt and Anderson's resentment. They fought constantly. The passion she thought existed was just alcohol and manipulation. The man she thought she'd won became her biggest regret. Within 3 months, Anderson left Precious. Another failed relationship. Number 7. He tried to apologize to Vera, sent letters, showed up at her door. But Vera had moved on, not to another man, but to herself. She focused on teaching, on healing, on rebuilding. She learned to trust again. Slowly, carefully. 2 years later, Vera met Michael at a church function. He was patient, honest, and showed her what real love looked like. They married in a small ceremony surrounded by people who truly cared for her. Precious watched the wedding photos on social media, from her lonely apartment, still trapped in the prison of her own jealousy, still wondering why happiness always seemed just out of reach. The answer was simple, though she'd never accept it. You cannot build joy on someone else's pain. You cannot steal blessings and expect them to flourish. What you sow in darkness will never grow in light. Dear friends, Vera's story is a painful reminder that not everyone who calls you friend has your best interest at heart. Some people smile in your face while poisoning your life behind your back. Be careful who you trust with your dreams. Watch who you allow close to your relationships. A true friend celebrates your blessings, not sabotages them. And if you've been betrayed like Vera, know this: what God has for you will always find you. What was stolen can be restored. The people who hurt you will face their own consequences. You don't have to chase revenge. Walk away with your dignity, heal with grace, and trust that better days are coming. Thank you for watching Tales by Teemee. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below telling us what lessons you took from Vera's journey. Until next time, protect your peace, choose your circle wisely, and remember your true friends prove themselves not in your sunshine, but in your storms. God bless you all.